Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group 4 of Introduction to Translation Studies. And now we will explain about studying translation product and process. And the first is Finney and Darbelnet's model. The two general translation strategies identified by Finney and Darbelnet's are direct translations and oblique translation, which hark back to the literal versus free. The two strategies comprise 7 procedures, of which direct translation covers 3. The first is borrowing. The SL word is transferred directly to the TL. This grouping covers words such as the Russian ruble, dacha, or more recently. Jadi di yang pertama ini kata SL langsung ditransfer ke TL atau target language-nya. Pengelompokan ini mencakup kata-kata seperti rubel Rusia, dacha, atau kata-kata yang lebih baru lagi. Lalu yang kedua ada calcu. This is a special kind of borrowing where the SL expression or structure is transferred in literal translation. Jadi di yang kedua ini adalah jenis yang spesial yang lebih spesifik lagi dari borrowing yang pertama tadi. Jadi di mana si SL-nya ini mengekspresikan atau strukturnya itu ditransfer ke literal translation. Lalu yang ketiga ada literal translation. This is word for word translation, which Finney and Darbelnet describe as being most common between languages of the same family and culture. Jadi ini sama aja dengan translation word for word. Lalu sisanya kan tadi ada 7 yang 7 prosedur untuk si direct translation. Tapi di sini yang 3 tadi masuknya ke direct translation, yang 4 laginya masuk ke oblique translation. Nah, yang pertama itu ada transposition. This is a change of one part of speech for another without changing the sense. Jadi di sini one part of, ya gitulah pokoknya. Terus yang kedua ada modulation. This change the semantic and point of view of the SL. It can be obligatory, optional, and others. Yang ketiga ada equivalence. Finney and Darbelnet use this term to refer to case where languages describe the same situation by different stylistic of structural means. Lalu yang terakhir ada adaptation, yaitu this involves changing the cultural reference when a situation in the source culture does not exist in the target cultures. Lalu yang selanjutnya akan dijelaskan oleh Wahyuni.
The second is catword and translation shift. Although Finney and Darbelnet do not use the word shift in discussing translation shift, that is in effect what they are describing. As far as translation is concerned, catword makes an important distinction between formal correspondence and textual equivalence, which was later to be developed by Kohler. Point 1. A formal correspondence is any TL category, unit, class, element of structure, which can be said to occupy as nearly as possible the same place in the economy of TL as the given SL category occupies in the SL. Point 2. A text Textual equivalent is any TL text or portion of text which is observed on a particular occasion to be the equivalent of a given SL text or portion of text. Cat 4 consider two kinds of shift. Number one, level shift would be something which is expressed by grammar in one language and lexis in other. This could, for example, be expect in Russian being translated by a lexion verb in English, or case where the French conditional corresponds to a lexical item in English. And the second, most of Cat 4 analysis is given over to category shift. Despite the step taken by Cat 4 to be considered the communicative function of the SL item, and despite the basis of his terminology being founded on a functional approach to language, the main criticism of Cat 4 book is that his examples are almost all idealized and decontextualist. He does not look at whole text, nor even above the level of the sentence.
Other writing on the translation shift in the 1960 and 1970 from the then introduced in literal aspect that of the expressive function or style of a text. The translation result for the one of the possible solution which promises a maximum of effect with a minimum of effort, that is to say,
the cognitive process of translation. Translation shift analysis seeks to describe two phonemes of translation by analyzing and classifying the changes that can be observed by comparing ST and TT. Three-stage process involving. Point 1, reading and understanding. Using linguistic competence and word knowledge to grasp the sense of the ST. Point 2, deverbalization in essential intermediate pass if the translation is to avoid transcoding and calculus. Point 3, re-expression, where the TT is constituted and given from based on the deverbalized understand of sense. A fourth stage verification, where the translator revisit and evaluates the TT was added by generation.
Okay, they all of our explain about studying translation product and process. Thank you for watching, and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.